Normally you do run solitaire, but in this build, we're not going to run solitaire. We're just going to have a Dark Grepper instead, because Dark Grepper with Dugaris is preferable, because even if they Ash Dark Grepper, you're perfectly fine. So, if we pretend our opponent here is not a Dragon Army and in fact a human here, the first thing we would do with this hand is we would use Mothman effect. And it doesn't matter that we had Uni-Zombie there because we have 2 Uni-Zombie. It's fine. And we also still have a normal summon, so we could have normal summoned Dark Gripper or Uni-Zombie immediately after this. But in case our opponent has Maxi here, they would probably use it on Mothman activation. And then we would Gamma the Maxi, which would negate their Maxi, and they would not be able to use Maxi again till the next turn. And it would allow us to special summon Gamma and Driver, which allows us to go into either Crystron Halqifibrax, or we can go into Omega, depending on the situation. But in most cases, I'll probably use it as kind of a free Hulk, kind of. In this case here, we can just special summon Dark Grepper, or we can just normal summon Uni-Zombie and combo off from there. It's kind of a little bit awkward with Dark Grepper here because we don't have... Well, actually, no, it's fine. Well, I would prefer to have another Dark in hand here, the situation. But it's fine. We can actually send Uni-Zombie from our hand to the graveyard here, and it's perfectly fine. In fact, it's better to here, but yeah. It's just a tiny... Well, it's just a little awkward that we won't be normal summoning this turn. But zombies, especially Pier, they quite lack special summons, and the Danger and Dark Grepper do help to make up for this a bit. So let's add Zephyros. Or send Zephyros, add back Mothman. So we're going to add back Mothman here. And now we're going to special summon Zephyros. And then we make Dugaris here. So this is the type of line you would take with this build. It might be different depending on what your build looks like, but I very much enjoy using Dark Grepper, Mothman, Dugaris, all that stuff. And Uni-Zombies also, you can also use Uni-Zombie to make Dugaris without too much trouble. But now here we will just, we have a choice here actually. We can either bring back Dark Grepper, or we can bring back Uni-Zombie. But I'll prefer Uni-Zombie here, because we currently do not have a tuner, so let's just go for that. We could send Destrudo with Dark Grepper once we bring him back though. So the cost of this is that to use this effect is we skip our next main phase 1. But our board will be fairly strong, so it's not that big of an issue. And our effect is not negated, so we will just use Uni-Zombie's effect to send Banshee. And we'll just flip the Mothman, see if we, yep, Mothman summon Mothman. Alright, nice. And we have Destrudo, so we can extend even further here. And we'll just activate Banshee so the game stops bugging me. Alright. So we'll also summon Destrudo. Destrudo also has some flexibility as well, in the sense that will mostly be changing its level between 3 and 4, so you can actually use this to make Bamboozling Gossip Shadow as well. Or you can use it to make Dugaris, because it can change its level. So it can be either a 3 or 4. And I believe we run Dondrexer as well, yeah. So no matter what it targets, the sum should always be 7, so you'll be able to make FA Dondrexter as well, which helps to play against some back row or staples, Raigeki and all that. A bit situational, but yeah. So in this case, actually, we have a lot of bodies, so we're actually going to probably be making Degda first. So we'll go Mothman, Dugaris here. And then we make Degda. And then we'll make Crystron Hulk. And then Hulk will summon Globum, as well as triggering Degda. Triggering Degda is perfectly fine early, in fact, sometimes it's better to do so. Because if Degda gets negated, it does fuck over your play a bit. Your Hulk Degda play a bit to make the Baron and Scythe lock, but not super important right now. Well, Health does have the ability to kind of dodge a little bit, so that's worth considering. So normally when you're playing zombies, you don't really necessarily want to send your Doom King to the graveyard unless you have, for example, a Ghost Bell in hand to protect your Doom King from a called by. But in this case, we're actually perfectly fine, and we'll just make a sucker anyways. And we have about one free zone here, because you do need to consider you will need one open zone somewhere if you're making a Baron using Wonder Magician and Scythe. Hulk can summon, or Hulk will banish itself and then summon the tuner. So you just need one open space, but if you also have Doom King, you'll need 2 open spaces if you want to think about that like that. So you might want to make Sucker or even Avenged Savior at times. It kind of depends on board state, the game state, whatever. But if they actually, in most cases, if you Scythe lock your opponent and set up Baron, they should lose the game. That is the case for most decks. Not all decks, but yeah, so Doom King, special summon from graveyard, triggers Sucker, yep. So you normally would want to have your chain set to on as well before this point here. But yep, so you can chain to Hulk or Wonder Magician, your Doom King. Just any monster effect while Zombie World is on the field. Then we're going to banish the face down. And then we're going to Wonder Magician. We're going to pop the Scythe that we set last turn. Even if we got called by, we still get the Vampire Sucker draw. We just lose the Doom King, which is fine here in this case. With PK zombies, we're doing a little bit better, but typically you wanna, when your opponent doesn't actually chain anything to this, you can honestly just let Scythe resolve by itself, and then Wonder Magician effect. That plays around some stuff. And in this case, our opponent would even if they did called by Doom King, they'll still get Scythe locked, and then we will still have our play this turn as well. Wait, what? Do we have another Doom King here? Oh yeah, we do. We milled one at, or we had one at the start of our last turn or whatever. Alright. So, a small little problem with this build here is lethaling at this point is a little rough, but our opponent will be having a worse time. So here we actually don't have lethal, and we only have the option of going into battle phase or ending our turn after the Dugaris effect, but that's okay. We still have our main phase 2, and our opponent has one more turn, and then they lose the duel. So we'll change Doom King here to attack, because we can. We will also set Rivalry and pop the back row. And we can also make Appaloosa here, actually. So we're going to do this, pop the back row, lose D-Spell, doesn't matter. Okay, and then we can just make, for example, Appaloosa here, using the two. Well, actually we can't use the two Doom King. So we'll normal summon Dark Grepher, actually, because Appaloosa needs different names. And we will draw again next turn with Sucker effect, so we're still pretty fine. So we're going to use Dark Grepher, and then Scythe. We don't need Scythe anymore, we just, or not Scythe, we don't need Degda anymore because we already have Scythe. And that's the only artifact we're running, so it won't activate again. Alright. And then here we have Rivalry, which is pretty good. Our opponent can only summon zombie monsters, so they'd have to send their monsters to the graveyard and then summon them to bypass the Rivalry zombie world block, or they have to be playing zombies themselves. This is also effectively another form of Scythe block because there aren't really zombie extra deck monsters anyone plays. Because honestly, the ones in Master Duel right now, they're pretty much all awful. So here, we didn't use the Omni of Baron, but it's okay. We're just going to special Scythe block them a second time. Sometimes this is just the best play. Sometimes it might not be. Depends on the game state, but this is an option. And if you do it like this, your opponent will be Scythe blocked for 2 turns, completely unable to play the game. Punched over Sucker, good work Sucker. Alright. And this would just be game. This point. Now. Alright. And we also do have access code talker as well. And we do go into a decent amount of links. We actually have the ability to pop 3 cards right now with the effect of access code. And if you, for example, had Unizombie in hand right here, or some way to special Unizombie from, for example, Graveyard, if you use a Unizombie's effect twice and target either Scythe or Unizombie both times, you can just summon Baron again and you have your Omni back. And I think that covers most of the important things I wanted to cover for this deck and how it plays. So I hope you guys enjoy this deck if you do find yourself running it.